Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's varsity hockey is live and on the air. We are live at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena, where it is your Pioneer men's varsity hockey team in town to take on the Dexter Dreadnoughts. This is the Dexter Dreadnoughts home rink. Dexter in their home white jerseys with the maroon on the shoulders and the maroon pants with the maroon stripes and gold across the middle. Numbers in maroon on the back and on the sleeves, and the Dreadnought logo on the front. Pioneer in their road purple jerseys with the dark stripe across the middle. Numbers in white on the front and back. Block A's on the front. Pioneer and block lettering across the bottom. Purple socks and black helmets. We do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer men's hockey. That includes Align Chiropractic Center, Ann Arbor Door Systems, the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, the Ann Arbor Running Company, the Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Closetivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Detroit Wing Company, Demo's Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Ray Shaber Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kindling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Kristen Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nico Seco America, Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman, Coatry DTS, DDS PLLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Service, Terry Lloyd and Company Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, and Whitney Johnson Pilates. I want to thank all those wonderful sponsors of the Pioneer men's hockey team. Please help support those who support the team. Pioneer 1-11 on the season. Their win came back on December 19th versus Bedford, 4-0. Pioneer had a win. That was the last game of 2022. Coming into 2023, they fell in a hard-fought game 5-2 versus Skyline. Then Huron beat them in the consolation game of the Gillick tournament 4-2. They went out to the Arctic Coliseum in Chelsea, beat them 8-0, and then they were over at the Kennedy Ice Arena back on Thursday. Game we were unfortunately able to cover, and that was a loss 6-1 to Grosse Ile. So Pioneer hoping to get back on the winning ways here. In their last game versus Grosse Ile, nobody scored in the first. 4 goals for Grosse Ile in the second, 2 for Grosse Ile in the third, 1 for Pioneer in the third, making it 6-1. 0 for 3 on the power play was Pioneer. Grosse Ile was 3 for 4 on the power play. No information on the score sheet for Pioneer, so I don't know who scored the lone goal. For Grosse Ile, it was Simons with 2 goals, a goal to Sobachowski, a goal to Oliver, a goal to Hubler, and a goal to Karn. 10 assists, 3 to Simons, 3 to Gurney, 1 to Hubler, 1 to Cookson, 1 to Worsley, and 1 to Karn. So 6 goals, 10 assists. It was Thompson between the pipes, facing 7 shots on goal, saving 6 of them in the win. Pioneer, again, I don't know who the last goal scorer was, but leading the way in points thus far, barring that, is Comuton with 8 points, that on 6 goals and 2 assists. Sutton, number 2, with 6 points on 4 goals and 2 assists. Number 3, Ty with 4 points. Wilkins with 4 goals for 4 points. Armstrong with 1 goal and 3 assists for 4 points. And Sanborn with 4 assists for 4 points. Taking a look on the other side, Dexter is 0-11-1. Their one tie came against Davison on the 21st of December. That was a 3-3 tie. Coming into this calendar year, they've lost 4 straight. Since that tie, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight So they lost 5 until the tie, had the tie, then lost 6 straight afterwards. Their last game was versus Celine. Celine beat them 8-0. And we'll talk a little bit more about that game coming up. As let's take a look at that game. It was 3 goals by Celine in the first, 3 goals by Celine in the second, and 2 goals in the third for the Mercy. No power plays recorded, no stance for Dexter on the score sheet. Taking a look over at Celine, 3 goals by Roniewicz. It was 2 goals by Idapalo, a goal by Granica, a goal by Antonio Giacalone, and a goal by Tier. For 8 goals, 14 assists, 2 for Merrick, an assist to Roniewicz, an assist to Woodrow, 2 assists to Updike, 2 assists to Ellis, an assist to Idapalo, an assist to Rumor, an assist to Granica, an assist to Douglas, 2 assists to Antonio Giacalone for 14 assists. It was Schroeder between the pipes for all 21 minutes, facing 12 shots on goal and saving 12 shots on goal. Top scores offensively for the Dreadnoughts. Taking a look, it's Tulis with 13 points set on 11 goals and 2 assists. As let me pull this up over here so I can take a look. There we go. And Yeti. Noah and Yeti, as there's 2 in Yetis, in the 2 spot with 6 points on 2 goals and 4 assists. Austin Hutchinson with 4 points on 4 assists. And then a trio tied in 2 as Jacob Wilson has a goal and assist for 2 points. Boomauer has a goal and assist for 2 points. And Mikos has a goal and assist for 2 points. No goalkeeper statistics on that sheet. As it has been in the first, Dexter has 5 goals. The opponents have 29. So Dexter minus 24 in the first. In the second, 7 goals by Dexter, 25 for the opponents. At the 18, minus 18 in the second. And in the third, 5 goals by Dexter, 15 for the opponents, making it a 10-goal differential there. 1 goal in the overtime for the opponents, 70 points for the opponents, 17 for Dexter out there. Combined goalkeeper statistics, the goals against average is not correct at all, but 8.20 save percentage. The opponents have a 1.05 goals against average with a 9.29 save percentage and 3 shutouts. So both teams looking for a big win here. Pioneer looking for their second win of the season and trying to get on the winning ways before they host Lenawee the 18th over at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Dexter trying to get their first win of the season and try and get a nice run going, as their next game will be at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube versus Huron on Wednesday. That will be a 7:30 game, whereas our Lenawee game is 5 o'clock. So I'm going to have to look out for my day job there. But we'll have the game before the Dexter-Huron game. 17 minutes up on the clock as we are getting ready to go here. Dexter gathered around their goal to the left, trying to get all the pucks out of the net. Taking a look across the way at Pioneer. As public address announcer hopping on. Welcoming everyone to Veterans Memorial Ice Arena.
We'd like to remind the students post schools and wish them luck. That participation in interscholastic high school sports is a privilege.
There's a good crowd here. As public address announcer asking everyone to provide good sportsmanship. Now, the starting lineup.
Number 7, Anthony Yang.
Yang comes out starting at forward for Pioneer.
At forward, number 8, Nathan Armstrong.
Armstrong starting at forward for Pioneer.
At forward, number 19, Charlie
Holt skates out to the blue line starting at forward for Pioneer.
On defense, number 3, Gabe Sanborn.
Sanborn starting blue liner for Pioneer.
On defense, number 13, Finn Miller.
Miller skates out to the blue line for Pioneer. And between the pipe is Cass. Skates out to the blue line. Now for the Dreadnoughts. As Tulis comes out to the blue line. Newton skates out to the blue line. Boomhauer skating out to the blue line.
At defense, number 10,
Mikos on defense skates out to the blue line. And Noah and Yeti as the blue liner between the pipes. For some reason I don't have that, but I will double check that as they play the national anthem. It's going to be stock between the pipes. As we're getting ready to go, 17 minutes up on the clock. Pioneer going from right to left here in this, the first period. As Pioneer women played just before this, and the Mid-Michigan Alliance Valkyries able to get the win 4-2 over the Pioneer women. Pioneer men hoping to get a huge win versus Dexter. Dexter would love to get a win as well. Both teams looking to try and get on the winning way. Again, that goalkeeper, Kate Stock, is the goalkeeper. Head coach for Dexter is Kenny Grundy. Assistant coaches is Doug Kennedy, Thomas Evans, and goalie coach is Joe Hume. For Pioneer, head coach is Drew Collins. Assistant coaches Harrison Neiman, Jason Pischke, and manager is Stephen Armstrong. We appreciate you watching when you can't make it. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you are in the area and want to come on down, you still got time. Face off right at center as Holton to take the face off. For Pioneer on the other side, it's going to be Boomhauer. As that puck in along the near boards, racing in is Mikos. Mikos has it outside the near circle. Fires it right back behind Cass into the far corner. Trying to pull that away is Newton. The puck outside the far circle comes right back behind the Pioneer goal. That fed into the near corner. Trying to pull that away is Miller. Miller feeds it in along the far boards. Yang trying to get to it. It's in that far corner. As that knocked, held in at the far point. Good job by Tulik, who sends it outside the far circle. That poked away, trying to get it as Tulik battling outside that far circle. Now, Boomhauer feeds it in along the end boards. That comes right back behind Cass. Armstrong gets it in the near corner. Armstrong bringing it for Pioneer. Poked away, coming over, trying to fire it out in front. That knocked away as Noah and Yeti got it right in the slot. able to hold it in is Mikos as that comes on the near circle. Racing ahead. Sanborn for Pioneer. Gets it over his own blue line. Feeds it ahead. Armstrong trying to grab it. That fired right back to the Pioneer blue line. Miller has it poke checked away. That gained into the zone. Ward feeds it down the far boards. Spinning with it Friedman along the far boards of his own zone. That's sent right back and along the near boards where Miller has it into the near corner. Trying to avoid pressure over there by Jacob Wilson into the high slot. Backhanded shot. That by Early goes just wide to the far side. Firing out in front. Shot right out in front by Burke and saved by Cass. 15:28 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far. Dexter with an opportunity there. Good save by Cass. Ward in to take the face-off. On the other side is Jacob Wilson. That puck outside the near circle. Friedman trying to poke it out of the zone. Sutton pinned up against the board comes into the near corner. And brought back as Burke has it. Now top of the near circle trying to fire that deep is Cameron and Yeti. Well, that fired all the way down the ice. That'll be icing deep into the Dexter zone. So that'll bring it back into the Pioneer zone with 15:09, or 15:07, excuse me, left to go. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That's going to be to Cass's right. As Holt in there to take the face-off. On the other side, Boomhauer. Garcia to Holt's left. To his right is Rowe. That puck loose on the far circle, sent right back behind Cass. Friedman trying to poke that away, battling in along the end boards. Wraparound attempt. Good save by Cass as Tulik got it right off of the end boards and trying to fire it ahead. That puck coming down. Bringing in Hudson, fires it wide just into the far corner. Garcia trying to poke that away as Noah Yeti trying to knock that with him. Rowe fires it just wide into the far corner. Rowe trying to send it in along the end boards. He loses an edge as there is a tripping call coming up at 14:34. As Pioneer goes on the power play. A tripping call to Dexter. As looks like it's going to be Finch in the box for the Dreadnoughts. Face-off is going to be to the left of Stock in the far face-off circle. Armstrong in to take the face-off. Boomhauer on the other side. 14:34 left to go. Scoreless so far here in the first. So they get everyone set where they want them to be. Now drop the puck. That puck into the far corner. Yang tips it outside the far circle, racing over to get it. And pulled away, held in by Yang. Now Armstrong chasing it, that backhanded by Cameron and Yeti, but held in by Pioneer again. Wilkins holds it in at the far point. Wilkins has it top of the far circle. Wilkins goes into the far corner. Takes it right back behind Stock underneath the near circle. Wilkins feeds it over to Yang. Yang right back behind the Dexter goal. Sutton just to the left, patrolling the crease. Now Yang comes to the far side, feeds it top of the far circle to Wilkins. Wilkins with a shot, goes wide outside the near circle. Sanborn trying to hold it in at the near point. Rims all the way around into the far corner. Yang has it outside the far circle. Pressure coming over there from Boomhauer. Yang into the far corner. Yang comes outside the far circle, now top of the far circle. Yang, high slot with the wrister that goes wide just to the near side. Sutton chasing it, trying to pull it off the back of the goal. Sutton underneath the near circle now. That goes over to Wilkins outside the far circle. Wilkins takes it in along the end boards, goes back behind the Dexter goal now. Back behind there as Mikos watching him. Puck underneath the far circle, trying to backhand it all the way back out was Boomhauer. Sanborn collects it right at center ice, trying to get it going the other direction. These are both very young teams. As coming in with it is Boomhauer, as that goes in along the end boards, trying to pull that away. Sanborn in there digging. Wilkins comes in to try and pull that away as a trio of Pioneer players. Wilkins comes away out of the pack with it into the far corner. Wilkins back behind Cass, trying to avoid pressure as Tulek right on top of him. Tulik comes out through the slot. Couldn't quite get a shot away. Here comes Sutton the other direction over center ice. Sutton down the far boards, has Yang to his left. Sutton fires it all the way down outside the far circle. And rimmed outside the near circle, trying to pull that away. Sent right back by Hudson into the far corner. Dexter starts their rushes. Tulik has it knocked away by Wilkins. Wilkins on the far circle, shot. That one is knocked away by Stock outside the far circle in the Dexter zone. Here comes the Dreadnoughts heading the other direction. Tulik has it, backhands it into the Pioneer zone. Pulled away by Wilkins. He goes over his own blue line down the near boards of the neutral zone. Wilkins loses an edge but puts the puck into the zone, trying to race over to get it is Holt as he loses an edge on the far circle. Now Hudson in along the end boards. He's pinned there by Gordon as that puck outside the far circle. Holt gets it back to the far point. Shot there. Saved by Stock. Loose Garcia into the far corner of the Dexter zone. Garcia in along the end boards. That tipped underneath the near circle. Garcia trying to sweep it. Centering attempt knocked away. Now fired the other direction by Hutchinson. So upperclassmen, Dexter has 4. They have 4 seniors on their team, no juniors. Pioneer with 5, with 2 seniors and 3 juniors. Both teams have 8 sophomores and 4 freshmen on the team. So both in very similar positions. Very young teams, big senior class. I know Pioneer had big senior class last year. I believe Dexter did, if I recall rightly. As Ward in to take the face-off. On the other side, Landon Wilson, that puck in along the neutral zone. Burke trying to bring it ahead into the Pioneer zone, top of the near circle. Good block by Sanborn, centering attempt. Great job by Miller to get that out of harm's way. Coming ahead with it, Yang down the far boards. Pulled back the other direction by Landon Wilson. Gets it over on the near boards, over to Burke, who feeds it ahead. Pulled back by Yang, top of the near circle of his own zone. Yang lets that slide into the neutral zone. Trying to grab it right in front of the Pioneers bench is a battle for the puck, as coming away with it, Armstrong tries to feed it back deep. Now they have rifle down the far boards. Sanborn gets it into the Dexter zone and offsides. Well, the official has a much better view of it than I do. 10:51 left to go here in the first. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Just outside of the Dexter zone. Looks like it's going to be Holt in to take the face-off. Sutton to his right. Wilkins to his left on the other side. Boomhauer for the Dreadnoughts as that's rocketed down by Cameron Inietti into the Pioneer zone. Right back to Cameron Inietti. Now coming down the far boards. Shot from the far circle. That just goes back to the near point. Tipped out into the neutral zone. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins racing 2-on-1 for Pioneer. Wilkins with a shot and he scores! Wilkins puts it bar down in the upper right-hand corner. Wilkins able to put it in. Boy, there was nothing that Cade Stock could do about that one. Cade Stock had perfect position. 2-on-1 for Pioneer, and Wilkins put the puck right where it needed to be. Pioneer up 1-0. Face-off right at center ice as Jacob Wilson in to take the face-off. Versus Holt. That comes in along the far boards of the neutral zone, trying to tip it away from Early there. Pioneer. Holt trying to dig it right in front of the penalty box. Early comes back, trying to bank it ahead. That's Jacob Wilson. And puck comes all the way back into the Dreadnought zone. Finch fires it ahead into the neutral zone. That's swept in along the far boards by Edwards. Now comes back into the far corner. Could not hear if there was an assist as the shot from the far point by Noah Inietti goes out and grabbed by Cass. Good save by Cass. 9:57 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Pioneer with the early lead on the Dreadnoughts. Again, both teams love to get a win here and try and start a run. Dexter looking for their first win. They've had a time. Pioneer has had only one at the end of the calendar year. Back to the far point. That fired in by Gordon. Swept right back behind Cass. Coming down the far boards. Here comes Yang. Yang gets it over his own blue line. Yang, as that's going to be Yang, has to avoid an offsides. Fed ahead over. Miller trying to tip it now. Brought the other direction by Landon Wilson. That will be offsides on the Dreadnoughts. 9:34 left to go. Excuse me, that'll be icing. That'll come all the way back into the Dexter zone. Face-off will be to the left of Stock in the far face-off circle. In to take the face-off, Landon Wilson. Ward on the other side for Pioneer. That puck outside the far circle. Garcia pinned against the boards. Trying to pull that away was Gordon as the puck comes back to the far point. As it's brought down the ice, Landon Wilson has it tipped away. Now that's fired deep by Boomauer into the Pioneer zone. In the far corner, Miller trying to pull that away. The puck outside the far circle. Garcia fires it over. Hudson tips it. That along the near boards in the Pioneer zone. Hudson gets it back into the neutral zone. Retreating back as Mikos trying to start the rush for the Dreadnoughts. Armstrong trying to poke that away as it comes into the near corner. Sanborn checks Mikos, separating him from the puck as the puck comes outside the far circle. Battle for it there. Miller trying to, Garcia trying to poke that out of the net or out of the zone, and that is going to be a penalty coming up to Dexter as Dexter able to touch it as Hutchinson was able to touch it. That was a check from behind. We'll see exactly what that is. What do they call? As that is Newton into the box for 2. Pioneer will go on the power play at 8:40. I didn't see what they called the penalty with, but they will have been checking from behind. As Boomauer has that, Friedman sends it top of the far circle for Wilkins. Wilkins puts it into the far corner. Trying to pull that around. Armstrong comes underneath the near circle with it. Checking from behind is indeed the call. Yang has it back behind the goal. Feeds it back to the far point. Holding it in there, Friedman. Friedman rims it all the way back. Cole Mutin trying to get to it. That puck loose, held in. Now Wilkins has it poked away, coming the other direction, firing it deep as Boomauer. Into the near corner. Wilkins gathers it up right back behind Cass. Holds up there. 8 minutes left to go here in the first. Pioneer up 1-0. Racing ahead. That pull back tipped away by Boomauer. Now Friedman fires it across the rink. In along the far boards. Yang picks it up. Yang trying to bring it ahead as Pioneer. That puck back. Pull back. That was a major penalty, by the way. 4 minutes left remaining on that major penalty. As the puck back behind, moving it over in along the near boards is Noah Yeti. And that will go up and out of play. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left on the major penalty to Dexter. Face-off in the Dexter zone in the near face-off circle. Looks like it's going to be Jacob Wilson in to take the face-off. On the other side for Pioneer, that was Holt into the near corner. That fired all the way down, cleared. Down into the Pioneer zone. Cass leaves it for Wilkins underneath the near circle in his own zone. Pressure down there by Lippert. Is coming down the far boards. Here comes Wilkins, who gets ahead of steam. Wilkins, top of the near circle, shot, save. Excellent job by Stock. That comes outside the near circle. Sanborn holds it in right out in front. The puck in the slot. That slips back into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to reset. Sanborn feeds it down the far boards. Garcia has it at the far point. That pulled away. Holt outside the far circle into the far corner, being watched there by Mikos. Holt comes back underneath the far circle, back to the far point, over to Sanborn. Back to hold outside the far circle. Holt feeds it to Garcia in the far corner, all the way back to the far point to Sanborn. Sanborn on that far circle. Holt feeds it in around. Garcia chasing it back behind. Racing over to get it into the near corner. Wilkins trying to keep it in. That fired and cleared all the way down the ice. 2 minutes, 46 seconds left to go in the major penalty to Dexter. Wilkins has it. Heading up the ice, Pioneer with a 1-0 lead. 6:18 left to go here in the first. Wilkins goes back behind the goal underneath the far circle. Wilkins centering attempt and shot over. Sanborn with a shot. That went off of a skate out in front. Now lifted back to the near point and slips back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it as here comes Tulik. As moves it over, and they tie it up on a shorthanded goal as a given goal. Tulik moved it over on the far side to Boomhauer, then got it back. Cass, nothing he could do on the 2-on-1. And it's all knotted up at 5:57, 1-1. As 12, Tulik fired it in. I believe the assist should be 17, Boomhauer. 5:57 left to go. Pioneers still on the power play for the next 2 minutes, 17 seconds, but we're all knotted up at one apiece. The puck in along the near boards. Fired that back deep by Hutchinson. The puck into the far corner. Rowe chasing it, grabs it outside the far circle, feeds it out into the neutral zone. Armstrong over to Yang. Yang gains the zone, and offside's the call. Indeed, 12 from 17 is the goal. Face-off in the near face-off circle just outside the Dexter zone. As Armstrong in to take the face-off. On the other side is Jacob Wilson. The puck outside the near circle, swept around by Noah and Yeti all the way back into the Pioneer blue line. Rowe feeds it over to Friedman. Friedman along the near boards. Friedman fires it along the far boards to Yang. Poke checked away from him. Gathered up. Rowe feeding it ahead. That slips back into the Dexter zone, into the far corner. Armstrong gets it in the far corner. Puck wouldn't settle down. Now Yang has it. That back to the far point to Rowe. Rowe swings it over in along the near boards. Friedman trying to hold it in. That puck top of the near circle comes back into the neutral zone, and Pioneer will have to touch up. Friedman banks it ahead to Sutton. Sutton gains the zone, poked away, right back into the neutral zone. Friedman resets. 1 minute, 19 seconds left to go on the power play. Yang fires it back deep as that puck into the near corner. Gathering it, trying to send the other direction is Hutchinson. The puck held in by Pioneer. One-timer by Sanborn. That goes just wide. The puck back to the near point. Here comes Dexter down the near boards as Jacob Wilson applying pressure. Pioneer bringing it up. Sanborn gains his own, top of the near circle. Sanborn outside the near circle, into the near corner. Sanborn trying to feed it into the slot. Puck would not settle down as racing in to try and get to it was Holt. Wilkins picks it up back behind his own goal. 36 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. 4:13 left to go here in the first. 1-1 is the score. That puck pulled away by Boomhauer. Now bringing it in is Tulik. Tulik has it on the near circle, takes it back behind Cass. And knocked away. Good job by Yang to get it over to Sanborn underneath the far circle of his own zone. Sanborn feeds it down the near boards. Now bringing it ahead, Wilkins over center ice. Wilkins dumps it deep in the far corner as Pioneer goes for a line change. 5 seconds left to go before Dexter back to full strength. Bringing it ahead, making a move is Mikos. Dexter back to full strength with 3:37 left to go. Here in the first, battle for it right in front of us between the benches. Pulled away by Mikos, who gains up that tip back and a whistle. 1-1 is our score. 3:27 left to go. Here in the first, Pioneer scored first. Dexter able to get a shorthanded goal. And now Dexter will have their own power play opportunity as Ward goes into the box. Looks like a roughing call to Ward, as Pioneer will now be on the penalty kill. Face-off will be to Cass's right in the far face-off circle. Armstrong in to take the face-off as it's Jacob Wilson on the other side. That puck brought back, slips all the way back into the neutral zone. Cameron Yeti chases it back behind his own goal. Cameron Yeti from the far side to the near side. Bringing it up the near boards. Long pass, that tipped away by Friedman. Now racing in, Lippert trying to get to it. Edwards feeds it around outside the far circle. And brought back. Dexter has it as Cameron Yeti shot from the far point. Cameron Yeti on the far circle. Trying to fire it on the far side. That pulled back by Edwards ahead to Armstrong. Armstrong clears it all the way down the ice. 1 minute, 23 seconds left to go in the Dexter power play. Bringing it down the far side is Mikos. Mikos fires it into the Pioneer zone, into the far corner. Sanborn chases it in along the end boards, trying to avoid pressure back there. as it's lifted and cleared all the way back. Boomhauer chases it back behind his own goal. Yang back there to provide pressure. 57 seconds left to go in the Dreadnought power play. As Noah Yeti trying to get out of the zone, tipped back by Pioneer into the far corner. 2:13 left to go here in the first. 1-1 is our score. Dexter on the power play for 40 more seconds. Is bringing it ahead. Noah Yeti gets it down the far boards. Racing ahead with it is Hutchinson. Hutchinson stops outside the far circle. Rowe trying to pressure him. Hutchinson spins with it. Sutton knocking that away. And Sutton clears it down the boards, banking it off the near boards and deep in the Dexter zone. 20 seconds left to go in the Pioneer penalty kill. Back behind the goal is Noah Yeti. He starts the rush, sending it down the near boards. Racing ahead with it is Boomhauer. Boomhauer gains the zone. Boomhauer sending it, that tipped out into the neutral zone. Here comes Wilkins trying to knock it away. Wilkins on the near circle. Wilkins comes in. Back behind the goal. Pioneer returns to full strength. That puck in along the end boards. Now Hutchinson brings it down the far boards for Dexter. 1 minute, 17 seconds left to go. Here in the first, 1-1 is our score. As bringing it in is Tulik. Into the Pioneer zone, that loose right at the Pioneer blue line. Here comes Wilkins down the near boards. Wilkins in the neutral zone, fires it deep before going for a line change. Racing, Noah Yeti has it into the far corner. 57 seconds left to go in the first. Bringing it ahead, that fired and bouncing puck by Burke back into the neutral zone. Sanborn gains the zone outside the far circle. Drop pass over to Yang. Yang has it underneath the far circle. Yang goes back behind the goal, puts it in along the end boards, back to Armstrong. Now at the far point, Miller has it pulled away. Racing ahead with it, here comes Tulik. Tulik, shot, and he scores! As Tulik puts it in the top right-hand corner, number 12, and Dexter takes the lead 2-1 with 30 seconds left to go here in the first. Pioneer with the early lead. Dexter tied it up on a shorthanded goal, and now they've taken the lead 2-1. Face-off right at center ice as Jacob Wilson wins the face-off back. That comes in along the far boards, fed by Edwards. Loose now, trying to come in. That pulled back away. Here comes Friedman over to Armstrong down the near board. 17 seconds left. Armstrong checked into the near corner, separated from the puck. That pulled back by Yang. Yang underneath the far circle, trying to knock it away from Jacob Wilson. Right back behind, 4 seconds left to go. That lifted all the way down the ice. And that will do it for the first period. At the end of one, it is Dexter with the lead, 2-1. Pioneer scored first, but Dexter able to answer back and then take the lead on Pioneer here at your first intermission. As just getting our stats tallied up, and we will have an intermission scoreboard report as you are watching. Perfect, thank you very much. Shots on goal, 5 for Pioneer, 7 for the Dreadnoughts. Started off with a penalty to the Dreadnoughts. That one was to Finch for tripping at 14:37. Goal by Pioneer. Wilkins puts it in unassisted at 10:30. Then it was a penalty to Dexter. Newton went off for a 5-minute major checking from behind. Then it was a shorthanded goal at 5:57 as Tulik put it in. Assist to Boomhauer as well as Mikos. At 3:27, it was a Pioneer penalty for roughing that one to Ward. Then with 30 seconds left to go, it was a goal that by Dexter as Tulik puts it in. Assist, we believe, to Burke and Mikos. Pioneer down by 1. Dexter with the lead, 2-1. As looks like for some reason we are no longer getting signals from our scoreboard, so I'm going to change it to a manual scoreboard. Okay, we'll double check and see if we can't get that working during the intermission. Let's play a little couple messages from the MHSAA, and we will be right back with your second period action.
Has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the Health and Safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Yes, let's do an Airman scoreboard report. Taking a look at games that have happened since Pioneer last played on Thursday. Scores from yesterday. It was West Ottawa beating Midland Dow by a score of 8-5. It ended up in a 3-3 tie between Howe and Bay City. Chippewa Valley United beat Granville by a score of 8-2. It was Alpena beating Flint Powers 4-0. Escanaba beat Genesee by a score of 10-2. Saginaw Heritage with a 4-goal win over Grand Rapids Christian 6-2. It was Brighton shutting out Canton 7-0. Gladwin Gladiators beat Mid-Michigan 7-0. The Thumb Area Legion shut out Lakeshore 6-0. It was Fenton Linden with a 1-goal win over Bay Area Thunder 5-4. Traverse City West shut out Kingsford 3-0. It was Livonia Stevenson beating the Bay Reps 2-1. Kennewa Hills beat Rockford by a score of 5-2. Orchard Lake St. Mary's with a 2-goal win over Heartland. It was Jensen beating East Grand Rapids 4-3. Calumet with a 1-goal win over University of